Thank God for Abraham Lincoln. He did a lot. And a lot of the Civil War was fought over slavery. And the North not agreeing with the South, and North, the territories and all that other stuff. Not everybody was on the same page, and so it was fought largely over that, largely over the land and slaves. So I understand how it stokes the fires. I understand how it upsets people. But again, we know who won. And folks, what side of history are we on right now? Slave owners, presidents, ex-presidents were slave owners. What do we do? Do away with Mount Vernon? Do away with Washington? Folks, this is just a slippery slope, and I'm really afraid for our country if we continue on with this nonsense of trying to eradicate. This is what ISIS is trying to do with Christians. Trying to eradicate history is not going to change anything. Now, if it offends people at courthouses, I heard of one statue that's actually going to go to a cemetery, and it's going to cost over $280,000 to bring to a cemetery. I don't get it. And the thing is, you can't get proper history in public schools today. To me, these statues were public markers, and they all had a story to tell. May not have been a Gucci-goo story, but it's our American history, and it told about an error, a happening of what they were involved with. And if you didn't stand on their side, which most good Americans don't stand on the side of slavery, for goodness sake. And it's very offensive for this American to be told by the left media from all those major networks touting this crap, and Nancy Pelosi and Al Sharpton and all these freaks on the left saying that we are racists. Give me a break. That angers me. We want freedom. We want equality for all. For all Americans, no matter what the color of their skin, whatever their religion is. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we all should have and are entitled to it. And now there's the pursuit to happiness, folks. And there's a lot of miserable people out there trying to make other people's lives miserable because they themselves are not happy. And largely speaking, that's what the left is trying to do, to try to upset things and cause a problem here in our country. And we are, I think, at a crossroads in a lot of respects. But this did not happen overnight. Said, how do we get there? That just one happening in Charlottesville just last weekend brought us to this place. Folks, this has been happening for a long time, this degradation of people feeling that they've been screwed over. Our leaders and leadership in Washington has let us down immensely. The media has propagated garbage. But the other thing I would like to allude to, the other thing that I think has not been said too often, unless you're a religious person, people don't go to church like they did. People ignore their conscience like we've never seen before. And a lot of people, they don't do the right thing, and they don't know right from wrong. Well, pretend that they don't because they've ignored their conscience for so long that they don't do anything to stand up for it, and they've become lazy and complacent. I was talking to some millennials, and a lot of people say that these millennials feel like everything's entitled to them. And I talked to some guys at Publix about that thing, and they said, we're not entitled to anything. That's why we're here working hard in a company that will reward us for our hard work. And I said, boy, and they understood where I came from. They've read the newspapers, the magazines, publications, putting themselves through school, early 20s. And they said it's sad, but it's not all millennials that think that way. We need to work for it. A lot of people have given up and are not working hard. and then they're just quick to blame somebody else for their own failures, their own inadequacies. And instead of standing up, instead of supporting the president, a lot of our senators have turned their back on our president. In a sense, when you turn your back on your president, you've turned your back on your country. Many people gave Barack Hussein Obama the benefit of the doubt, and I did. And I still would, having a minority president in the White House. Donald Trump is now our president. He deserves, folks, the support of all America. Because if he does well, we all will do better. Folks, his message of making America great again, making America safe again, I like that message. I want that to happen. These are good things, but when you sit there and you listen to the poisonous conversations going on the left media, publications, trashing, demonizing, tearing down the First Family and all his cabinet members and trying to come up with a witch hunt for something to basically disqualify him or them for their particular office, because that's what they're preoccupied to do. They have nothing better to do than do this because they lost. So it's their obligation right now on the left to go ahead and poison the waters as much as they possibly can. I'm sorry, but the left, the alt-left, and there's a lot of them folks out there, they're just as bad as the alt-right, which, folks, that's a dangerous place to be. We're at a crossroads right now, and I say a prayer for America. I wish no harm on any citizen in our country, but we definitely need a coming together because that's the only way. What is it? United we stand, divided we fall, folks. We don't need more divisions, folks. I hope that we can band together and get through this. We've lasted over 200 years, and God, I hope that we last a little bit longer than what we've lasted for with 250 years. Let's make it, folks. We're American. Let's act like it. All the best. May God bless.